There we go. All right. Well, welcome everybody to the February edition of the Designation Discourse. This month we are talking about the AAS designation. So real fast, I'm going to cover a couple small housekeeping items, and then we'll get right into things and have our panelists introduce themselves. Real quickly, I guess I already mentioned this a little bit, but yes, this is very informal. This is supposed to be a chance for you to have access to those that have been through the program to ask your questions of them, of what it was like, questions you might have there lingering of how to get through the requirements, those kind of things. So we will leave a lot of open time, floor time to you to ask your questions. We can do that through the chat window if you'd like. Prefer to do it that way, or just, of course, we try to keep a small, intimate sort of feel and group. So also just feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question live as well. If you do put it in the chat, I'll read it out loud and either have our panelists address it, or if it's something kind of more of a nuts and bolts issue, I'll jump in and answer those kind of questions. Let's see. Awkward silence. We're going to have some awkward silence. I'll make sure you have space for you to ask your question. So there'll be some moments we're going to sit here and look at each other. That's fine. So hope you're okay with that. And also, if you don't have questions, we're just came here to learn. Yes, that is just fine. That's how I learn sometimes too. I didn't really have any specific questions in mind, but I came to learn something. So if you just want to absorb the information today, feel free to do so. All right, with that, I will open it up to our panelists. Mr. Fowler, you want to get us started?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Glad to have everybody here today to participate in this AAS discussion. My name is Brad Fowler. I am a tax administrator in Alamance County, which is in North Carolina. Been in the business for about 20 years. Have both my RES and AAS designation. Serve currently as the chair of the Professional Designation Committee. And some of the team members that serve on that committee with me are here today for, once again, as Jaron said, to answer questions that you all may have, and to certainly try to lift your spirits as you go through this heavy hitting process if this is what you decide to do. So with that, I will turn it over to Tina Stone. Tina, you're mute.
I am Tina Stone. Welcome, everybody. Hope that you all learned something today, get some of your questions answered. I am with the North Carolina Department of Revenue. Prior to that, I was with the county for 25 years, and I've been with the Department of Revenue going on about 12 years. So I've been in the business for about 35, 36 years. I currently hold my PPS and my AAS designation. I serve as vice chair on the professional development committee. And yeah, I'm glad that you're interested in getting your designation, and looking forward to assisting however I can. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Tina. Alan.
Good afternoon, everybody. Alan Jolly. I work for the Los Angeles County Assessor's Office, where it is not quite afternoon for us, but I think we're the only ones that are not afternoon. So yeah, I recently completed my AAS in July of last year. I currently serve on the IWO Board of Directors. Previously, I served on the Education Committee. And for work, I actually am the principal appraiser within our office and work within our training division, where we are constantly onboarding new staff. It looks like we're looking to onboard anywhere between 40 and 70 new appraisers in about 2 months. So they will go through our training program. And so education for me is a big thing. Also, I am an IWO instructor. And so that's been a cool experience as well. So looking forward to helping out in any way possible. And hopefully you guys learn something and you get the answers to the questions you have.
Great. Thank you, Alan. And Shauna.
Hi there. I am Shauna Masiola. I'm a senior billing analyst with the City of Calgary. in Alberta, Canada. Shout out to the conference in October for anyone who wants to come. I'd love to meet you. I have my AAS. Perks to the AAS are there's a lot of self-satisfaction, and do it for the snacks. When you go to conference, you get bonus snacks that other people don't get.
Indeed. All right, and I realized, thank you, Shauna. I also realized as we were going through the introductions, I didn't introduce myself. Jerem Peranto, Director of Credentialing for IAAO. So I manage the day-to-day for our three programs, professional designations, the CEAA program, and our professional member program. So I do all the day-to-day stuff with our candidates and designees. So I get the nuts and bolts things. Yay. Oh, I also forgot to mention that if I can get it to run on its own here, there will be a slideshow in the background that is kind of addresses some of the frequently asked questions. So feel free to take that in as we go as well, or pull questions from that. That'll be just kind of there in the background as background info. But with that, I'd like to open it up and ask for your questions.
Okay, you're looking for questions, Jaron? I'll jump in because, you know, I talk a lot anyway. So I
Perfect.
guess
Thanks, Helen.
I guess Alan, you said you just obtained your designation last year, and congratulations. It's something that I keep backburnering because I just don't know. Number one, I hate not passing, and you know, if I don't get an A, I don't feel like I've been successful. So I'm so you know, I know that for the AAS, I've completed all my coursework. So basically, you know, in the quick where I do that original case study and then I do the final exam, correct? Is that am I correct in that basically if after two tests, because my coursework's complete, I'd be in good shape? So how much time did it take you preparing for those two exams?
The case study exam for me was probably the more difficult because there was a lot of questions from 300, which in California we do not do. We do not do mass appraisal. So if you're familiar with the mass appraisal stuff, then it should not be that hard. You know, for me, it was getting into the nitty gritty details. I would highly recommend finding and taking the workshop, the AAS case study exam workshop. That for me was a huge refresher on a lot of the topics that I felt I needed to prepare on, and was just a great kind of reminder of everything we'd gone over in the classes. So that one I would highly recommend as a precursor to taking that case study exam. The final exam was at a time it was a little crazy in my work life, so I did not study as much as I should have, but I eventually passed it, so that's good. But yeah, I mean, the good thing is there's opportunities even if if you don't pass on your first go round, they're nice about it and they tell you where you mess up, and so that's pretty awesome. And then and it's very nice. This is where you should focus things on. And it really was a good learning experience. I put everything on myself to, I didn't dedicate as much time. For me, the final exam was quote unquote easier because it was shorter. There was less questions, but you still need time to dedicate. I think between when I did my my case study exam and the final exam, I think I did them within about 5 months of each other, just based off of time frame and where I was at. So that worked out. So just honestly set a date, and and just count back from that. You said, I mean, Jaron can talk details about scheduling out the exam and so on and so forth. Set a date, put that as your goal, and then work backwards on, okay, I got to study this much, class by class. This class I'm going to study this week. This class I'm going to study this week, and just refresh yourself, and do it a bunch of times, and you should be all right.
I'm going to tag on to that a little bit. My experience was slightly different than Alan's in that I did my case study and my final as close together as I was allowed to. I can't remember exactly how close they were together. Darren would probably know, because I was concerned about my memory and the fact that I'm not an assessor. So you have to learn a whole bunch of stuff that you can't apply day to day. So it's a little tougher. I'm more on the admin and tax side of it. And it was kind of funny when I did the case study, I went through it and I felt super smart because I finished in a relatively short amount of time, not because it was easy, but because I was that prepared for it. And I was really kind of excited to get out of the way. And I did have that little element of protection that Alan mentioned, that they told me that if I mess up, they're going to tell me where I messed up. So I was kind of like, it's okay. You're shooting your shot for the first time in something that you know really well on one side, and but you've never practiced on the other side. So I wasn't putting too much stress on myself, and I did my case study, and then it was long. It was long, and even though I knew it, it's still hard, and you question yourself and stuff like that. So when I was doing the final, it's like, oh my God, what was I thinking? I should have given myself more time. And I like crammed and crammed and crammed. And then I had the same experience that Ella did. It seemed so much easier than the case study because I was prepared for the case study. So I didn't have to learn new stuff or different stuff. I just had to remember to apply the same stuff, or anything on the case study that I stumbled over. Of course, I reviewed just in case for the final, but it is shorter and it does feel so much easier. And of course, easy being a relative term. This is a complicated field, and it is not everybody gets the designation. If it was the technical easy where everybody passes basically, then what would be the point of having it? So it is still a lot of work and a lot of effort. But when they prepare you, the courses that you've taken have prepared you for it. So when you know your stuff, things feel easy. And it's take that with a grain of salt, the word easy, but I can tell you, my personal opinion is get those done close together so that you're not relying on your memory to carry you through.
I'll piggyback on that. I agree that definitely setting a goal date to do that, because what happens to a lot of people is they study and study, and then they get that goal date, and then they get in their head and like, oh, I can't do this. They start thinking that it's an 8-hour case study. And then they decide, well, I'm going to study some more. And then they never quite reach that time frame to sit and take it. And then they feel like they have to kind of start all over. And then a lot of people that recently have taken some courses, I actually taught one of the, it was the PPS, but it was the class, prepare them to take the PPS. There were 3 or 4 in there that was ready, but they've been doing the same thing. They've been putting it off. They studied and they put it off because they get in their head. And so I told them in the class, I said, the best thing you can do, you're all ready, you're all prepared, is once you finish this class, once it's fresh in your mind, make a goal to schedule this, when you finish this workshop. This is your last step, kind of a practice, and then go do it. And then lo and behold, all 4 of them did it and passed it. Al got the PPS designation recently. So I think that's the one thing is being prepared, setting a goal date, and just jumping in head first, feet first, whatever you want to call, just diving into it. So.
All right. Thank you all. Oh, Brad,
I was going to say, yeah, just one last thing I was thinking about as everybody was talking. They all gave exact advice. I think everybody kind of agrees the same thing. The one additional item I would add is obviously if you're looking at going for an AAS or any designation for that matter, you're already an overachiever, right? As Shauna said, there's not a whole lot of people who are looking at that program. I would suggest, especially as it relates to the AAS, if you go ahead and spend the time to prepare for the AAS and get yourself ready in that way, a lot of that material is the exact same as you would see, not all, but a lot of that material coincides with like our RES designation program. And so I say that to say, if you are close to either and or both, go ahead and get in your mind that I'm going to do the AAS, but then also as soon as on the heels of that, once I'm successful there, I may just go right into that RES designation too, because I've already prepared myself. And the last thing you want to do is spend time now studying to turn around and spend time a year or two from now and study again. So just if you really are feeling sure about yourself, go that way. But that's what I would do. So.
You will feel that way when you pass and Jaron gives you that information. You're going to say, I am so brilliant. What should I get next? And I did. I seriously contemplated, and I was like, well, the rest don't apply to me, so work's not going to pay for it, and my husband's going to question my sanity, but you will you will definitely get that high. So depending on your actual job, you may want to pursue other ones right away, because the feeling of satisfaction when you get that news is actually incredible.
Great, thank you all. And I just wanted to pop in with a more nuts and bolts kind of thing. The optional preparatory workshop was mentioned on workshop 852, the prep workshop for the case study exam. So that does cover a review of material that you might find on the exam, as well as gives you a practice exam at the end. And it's not graded, but it is a good opportunity to practice what it's like to take a case exam, because it is unlike other exams you've taken. It comes with a question booklet, of course, that you're used to. You gotta have questions on an exam, but also comes with a data booklet. And this is like a narrative with some data in it that you need to pull the correct information out of to answer the questions for many of the questions. So the case exam is the practical application of knowledge from the courses. Can you use the information in the data booklet, all the things you've learned, can you use those things to answer those questions? And it is a different kind of animal. So it's good to have that chance to practice that exam. Just kind of get used to kind of flowing back and forth between the two booklets, find the information you need to answer those questions. And I also brought this up because it's not offered all that often. Usually because a lot of the courses we offer are offered by our independent third-party coordinators, and they need to have enough momentum and bodies to make a class to put the class on. And that doesn't always happen with these types of workshops. So we, as IAAO, are offering them as live onlines later this year. But also, if you're ready now, it is also possible to just order the course materials called the Student Reference Manual. You can order those from our store, and you'll get everything that you would have gotten in the workshop material-wise, including that practice exam and the solutions. So if you don't want to wait to find a workshop and have the benefit there is you have an instructor. You can ask questions live. Of course, you order the materials. It's not dynamic. It's static. It's sitting there for you to go through. So this kind of depends on kind of your learning style, your pace of how fast you want to go. But I would say 852 is available usually 2 or 3 times a year at minimum. So, it's not nothing you can jump on tomorrow. Well, maybe I haven't looked at the offerings recently, but but just kind of allow yourself some time, and then look for those to pop up and register as you're able, or order the materials and study on your own. Good kickoff question. All right. So what else did that spark? What other questions do we have?
Question. I'm late going for a designation in that I've been in this field and worked in it for 40 years. When you go to fill out that application, how much information do you people want? I mean, if I got to take 40 years of experience and put it all on that thing, it's going to probably take me half a year to get the application filled out.
That is a great question. So when it comes to experience, you only have to turn in enough experience to show you meet the qualification. So for the specialist designations, that's 3 years in the specialty. And for the CAE, that's 5 years of working in real property appraisal or assessment administration, or a mix of both. So we don't need to see all 40 years, just enough to show that you meet the qualification for the designation you're going for. And I guess going back to the application form itself, it's also very simple. It will ask you to enter the course material or the courses you have completed that apply to the designation. But also that's is optional, but it is best for us to help process your application faster. But really, we apply most things from your account. So basically, it's your chance to declare that you're interested in the designation, pay the candidacy application fee, and start that. Basically, as I made that declaration that yes, I am now going for this. This process has now started. So really, the form itself is pretty simple and straightforward. And in fact, you can also upload your experience and degree stuff later while you're a candidate. You don't even have to do don't even have to do that application. So I hope that helps, Sue.
Yeah, it does. It does because I started writing out one thing. Um, I mean, I started out with assessment sales ratio and started at the beginning, and I've got, I went all the way through to testifying at the Supreme Court. So, I mean, after several years, policy and
Pages and
factual,
pages and
and you look at it, and I did the same thing with appraisal stuff for the state, and everything that you went through working for an oversight agency, you name it. I started at the rock bottom and went all the way through. It's a lot of experience.
oh,
So,
good deal. So yeah, that's why I tell candidates, especially they've have those years of experience behind them. Don't go overboard. There's no reason to. So you're just trying to show that you meet the qualification. So
okay.
you don't need to go above and beyond that.
All right. Okay.
And then I also mentioned that there is the experience record form. That is the official and form to fill out for showing your experience. And then so that form is required. And then you can also attach or upload with that supporting documentation, be it a resume you already have, or if you had something kind of written out that kind of explains more in depth of the things you entered onto that record form. That's allowable too. So yeah, there's a form on our website under the candidacy forms section, form to download there and fill out.
Okay. All right.
And I guess while we're on it, the experience qualification for the AAS is a minimum of 3 years of experience in assessment administration, which is a very broad general area of work, because it also does not have to necessarily be in an assessment office, but basically working anybody that's intimately involved in the assessment process, whether it be in the assessment office or on the other side, maybe through appeals or whatever, and can qualify for the AAS. And then
Okay.
for a year of experience, what the committee looks for is that you're spending a majority of your time working in that specialty. So you spent over 50% or more of your time of a year working in assessment administration would qualify as a year of experience.
Okay.
All right, good deal. Keep them coming. With that, a reminder too that if you feel more comfortable to put a question in the chat, you may do so, and I'll read it from there.
Question, there is no time limit on when you took your courses, as long as you have all of the right courses in, right?
That is correct. Yes. We do recommend to candidates if it's been more than 5 years to beg, borrow, steal the current course materials to study from. That'd be most pertinent to the exam. But as you know, the core of the material doesn't change that much over the years, but just kind of give you a fresh perspective of what the current courses are presenting to help you better prepare for the exams. But there's no requirement to retake those courses.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So, Jaren, if I were to get a group of, from the Mass chapter or Massachusetts and say, yes, we wanted, because I know I probably would benefit from doing that workshop ahead of time. Is that you reach out through obviously just education and to find a potential instructor, somebody with an AAS, or can it be a CAE that instructs on that one?
I believe there are, for instructors to be qualified to teach that, they had to have taken the case exam themselves. So that would be an
Okay.
AAS designee, and
All
then
right.
also has also taught the workshop, or has shadowed the workshop, so they can instruct it.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'd have all those between Jordan there, and we'd have a list of those folks for you.
List of the folks, and probably going to need them to be virtual then, because I'm not sure there's
Yes.
anybody in Massachusetts right now. Okay, fair
We
enough.
see that a
Thank you.
lot these days. So yes. That's also a good thing because we used to see these workshops like once a year, and now I see
Okay.
them 2, 3, 4 times a year. So we're
Yeah,
we're, we're getting better. That virtual attendance does help in that quite a bit.
definitely. Yeah.
Folks, I have a 2:30 meeting that I have to run to, but I do want to thank you again for your time. And I will leave you in good hands, except for anything Alan says. You got to watch what Alan Jolly says. But anybody else, listen to what they tell you.
I've
Okay.
heard that rumor, Brad. That's good.
Okay,
Thanks,
good.
Brad.
Nice to
Those
meet
West Coast guys, they're something now.
I'm a nice
Absolutely.
All right.
guy.
Good seeing everybody.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you. Oh, I don't personally have any other questions. I'm just thinking, I really thank everyone as well. I think at least I feel like I have a starting point now. Take the workshop and then go forward. So fair enough.
Good deal. Then we've had some success today. All right.
Yeah.
Mm. Jaron,
Yes.
I've told you before, I'm kind of a hoarder in that, I keep track of things. And I started looking through, and I've got stuff on AAS from 2003, 2011, and I think I can't remember what the date is on the last stuff. But yet when I go on the website now, none of that stuff, I mean, other than the base information, 3 years experience, blah, blah, that's 21. But like there was a whole guide to the assessment administration specialist designation that used to be out on the website. You guys don't have that out anymore. Is that?
It is there, but not prominent because it's outdated.
Is
So
that
most of
the
it's
reason?
still,
I mean,
yeah, so
obviously,
most,
and with my stuff, this is a 2003, literally, you know.
yes,
Um,
yeah, so most of it still is applicable, but there, if you look on the AS designation page itself, I think under the requirements, I think it's linked to there, kind of buried in there.
yeah.
And then also if you look on the guides and resources page for the demonstration guides, since a couple of the projects for AAS are demonstration guides. Well, technically, the case exam is also a way to demonstrate your knowledge for the designation. So the guide to the AAS designation is also under the guides page on the website for those writing reports.
Oh, yeah, and yeah, I have
But
that whole section
you
on
might,
writing written.
but the
Yeah.
one you download might be very similar to one you already have because it has not been updated in years. So we did have
Yeah.
somebody from the committee go through that recently, past couple of years to find those updates to make. And all we have in-house is a PDF version of it as scanned. So we're going to have to probably recreate the whole thing to get it updated. So we're working on how to get that done efficiently.
Well, if you want the
Somebody lost the
2000,
Word version.
yeah, if you want the 2003 one, I got a clean, I'm sure it's a PDF that I printed out, but yeah, I've got the clean one.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah. Um, and I have
So
the
yes, if that was
2020.
updated, this would be more prominent during our discussion here. That way to guide you to that kind of the different projects and whatnot. But
Okay.
and anytime you have us.
Okay. All right. Um, and you can get the workshop materials even if you don't take a workshop, right?
Yes. Yeah. If you go to the store tab on our website,
Okay.
uh,
That part I know how to do. I just haven't really looked.
perfect.
I didn't look for the workshop material, but if they're available, then I guess that's my next step because um I've taken all the classes, although 400 I took in 2000,
Oh,
I think, or 2001. I printed my transcript, so I know that it was, or I
yeah, it's
printed what you
been
have as my transcript, which doesn't even have everything I took because I took stuff before 2001 and none of that shows up on my transcript.
yep. So you want to work with our education team to get that updated for you then. Can now carry
Okay.
over to your candidacy. So yeah, so they can go back and we have everything does exist. It's all been scanned. It's all in the file somewhere.
So you mean you
Sorry.
have my 1985 stuff
I've seen
though?
courses back in the 70s. So yeah, that course one from 1979. We have
Yeah,
that.
okay. Yeah.
It's in a scanned file somewhere. So yeah, our education team is great about being able to research those files, pull out the needed information to get that all the data needed to flesh out your transcript and get them to appear on your transcript that way. So
Okay. Yeah. Well, I have an old transcript that has my 85 and early stuff in it. Um, you know,
that'll probably
and
help
then
them.
yeah,
Yes.
it was an unofficial transcript back then, and then I have the unofficial transcript right now. So
Well, that would definitely help. It's organized by state and year. So if they know what state you took it in and what year you took it in, that really helps narrow down the search.
I think I can figure that out. I still have the old
Excellent.
materials.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
See, we can recreate that history. That's good.
Okay. All right. All right.
So I have a question about membership. So I'm a member of the Florida chapter, but apparently I need to become a member of just IAAO in order to take any of these classes or to get a designation. Is that correct?
To get the member price, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so the chapter membership doesn't translate over into the International Association for membership
And
for
then
those
in order
purposes.
to fill out the application to be accepted, it seems I need to be a member because it's asking for an ID number that I do not have.
If you've had a course through us, you have an ID number, whether you're a member or not.
I had a course. So I can go
Mhm.
ahead and fill the application out. The I'm not quite sure what the name of it is. It's the acceptance
The KNC
application.
application form, yes. Yeah, so yeah, professional designation KNC application form. There we go.
Okay, so that's good to know. So I can go ahead and put that application in. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then if you go to our website under designations, look under candidacy forms, the fee schedule is listed there, and it'll show you the cost difference between being an IWA member and not for those different fees involved.
Okay, so we are working on getting a membership for me through my office, through my work. So
Excellent.
I want to go ahead and wait on all of that until that's completed.
Perfect. Yeah, I was about to mention that a lot of offices do support that, so I'd try that route first. You already have. Perfect. So yeah, once you do that, then that'll give you a discount on everything from the application fee through the exam fees, all that stuff too. If you want to challenge an exam, those are also cheaper for candidates.
Now, as far as the case study, now if we do not pass the case study the first time, how many you know chances do
Retries? Yeah. So you automatically get the a first retake after 30 days. You're eligible 30 days and after for the next retake. And then if you don't aren't successful on the retake application, you get one more try after a 180-day waiting period.
now? So you have to wait 30 days in order to take it again, and then
Mhm.
130. Okay,
Yes.
that's quite a
So
bit.
three chances overall.
Three chances. Okay.
But you're going to do it in one. I have faith in you. So
Yes. After the two workshop class, the prep class, I think is a mandatory. It should be. Okay.
All right, great questions, great conversation so far.
I appreciate all of you. This has been so helpful. I unfortunately have to go ahead and leave the meeting as well. So I wish you a wonderful afternoon and thank you so much.
Well, I'm glad you're able to join us, Cynthia. Thank you. And any more questions as you go along, just call or email the office, and if I can't answer, we'll find an answer for you.
Great. I appreciate that. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Jaren, I have to run.
Well,
I
you
did put a
too.
message. I did. Sorry.
Nope. I appreciate it. So thank you
Mine's
much.
not, yeah, mine's not planned. But I did put a reminder in there that if anyone is pursuing and has questions, they can request a mentor from you.
Yes, I'll cover that next. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, so Shauna mentions that once you are a candidate, we do have professional designation advisors available. And those are designees who volunteer their time that have the designation that can use their experience going through the program to guide you through your process of earning your designation.
Okay.
And I will say, I'm not going to make us stare at each other for another 20 minutes to fill the full hour. If we actually run out of steam, we'll stop. But I also want to make sure we're open and available as you are thinking through things through here at towards the end here, and as more questions come up.
Uh, I think I'm also all set, and I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I have a roadmap now. So thank you very much. And
Excellent.
yeah, if that was all for, I'm gonna go ahead and log off too. So thank you.
All right. You're welcome. I'm glad you're able to join us.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right. And I think Sue, you said you're fine now, right? Any more questions? Nope. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and I'll have that available within a few days and get that emailed out to everybody. But thank you, Alan and Tina, for joining us. Sue for joining in as well, and being part of our event today. And hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, Jaren, for leading this.